Hello everyone and welcome to Vape Sunday. Today I didn't make it to the vape shop, even though I know it's Sunday and we've talked about this before. I actually went a couple days ago because today I was busy in Ann Arbor with a very good group of people. A couple days ago I decided to pick up the Nautilus. See that? Nice box. I've had the Nautilus Mini before. That's this one. Comes in almost the same box, and I was actually surprised they're the same price. Let me show you the difference between the two. This here is the Mini. Okay, get a good look at that. And this here is the not Mini. Put them together and you have quite a bit larger. The diameter is bigger. Drip piece is the same, but overall it's much bigger. The Mini actually holds about 2 milliliters, and this supposedly holds about 5 milliliters. It's amazing how much it holds. It's like it takes up half the bottle of juice that you buy. You may notice that we have a metal piece that you can't see through. That's actually an add-on that I purchased. It came with glass just like the Mini, but I wanted to have it look a little bit different. Plus, I think this is a really huge piece of glass. It's very likely, I'm thinking, to break, and so we bought this. So it looks really cool. One thing I was worried about, I really enjoy my Aspire Nautilus, and one of the things I really enjoy about it is the massive airflow. There's not a whole lot of restriction, but at the same time, sometimes the clouds and the steam that it produces is kind of airy, and I don't always get the same flavor taste that maybe I think I should have. I'm not saying I don't like the Nautilus, I actually like it. One thing that you'll start to notice if you get into vaping is that different tanks taste better with different liquids, and different liquids taste better with different tanks. The Kanger ones, like this, they heat up a little bit, and sometimes that's good, but sometimes it's not good. And they also produce a ton of flavor. So you may have a juice that's somewhat of a strong flavor, and you put it in here and it's disgusting. And then you put it in this one and it tastes great. So I can't say that there's one tank that I like better than the other. It's just different for different purposes. This is one of the first ones I bought. This is also a Mini. This is a Nautilus Mini, same as this. But you notice it has this T-shaped metal piece. So what happens is you just unscrew the bottom of these. Okay, so there's your bottom with your coil, and you buy a new piece of this. So that's what this top is. So anyways, it just gives them different looks, and sometimes maybe people don't want the glass because you can drop them. I still try not to drop them because I don't want any dents on them. I want them to look nice. Anyways, what I was getting at is that this is a Nautilus Mini, just like this is, but for some reason, this does not have very good airflow. And like I said, there's not necessarily a pro and a con. It just depends what kind of juice you're actually going to put in it. Let me try to show you the difference in the bore. Okay, so you'll notice right here, and it's hard to tell in this camera, I think you can tell, the one seems a little bit more open than the other. And that's what I was complaining about when I'm saying there's a little bit less airflow. And it's kind of annoying. I'd rather change it with these side things. So the whole point of the Nautilus Mini, one of the wonderful things that it does is, see that hole there? You can dial in the amount of airflow you want. So I would prefer if the most open hole was a good amount of airflow. And like I said, it's not on this one. I wanted something with a bigger millimeter base, just for looks and aesthetics. And I like that this holds so much liquid, but I was hoping that this had good airflow. and it doesn't have as much airflow as the Atlantis, but it does have really good airflow, so I'm really happy with this. Supposedly this is one of their older tanks, but I'm really actually very happy with it. Let me show you the inside. So we take this part off, and then we're going to unscrew this. Look how huge that is. So this holds a lot of liquid. So let's show. In this tank, we have one of my all-time favorites. This is like one of my, I have certain staple ones, and in other words, they're like the juices that I always like. I always go back to, I always keep them around, and then I flirt around with other ones. This is Millionaire by Independent Vapor Company. This one is based in Michigan, very close to where I'm at, and I'm very happy with that. Millionaire. This is one that tastes horrible in the Kanger tank. I put it in this one before, and it like burned my throat, and it was just gross. Okay, so here we go. This is the full-size Nautilus with the metal cage tank, whatever, replacement for the glass. I like to hear that gurgle. I love that sound. It's great because it does a good amount of flavor for stronger liquids that are too much for some of the other tanks. A couple of the other things that you need to remember with these is that the voltage you have to adjust based on the coil head that you're using. So if you see right here, I have 17.3. That top number is the ohms. So this particular coil is supposed to be 1.8, but it's coming in at 1.77, which I'm sure it's not perfectly accurate. And then when you fire it up, the voltage shows, so it's 5.49. When you change the wattage, the voltage goes up. And anyways, when I'm using this with one of the bigger tanks, like this one, I can go all the way up to 30 watts. I'll show you because this is a video, which means I can show you lots of fun things. It's at 17 right now. I'm gonna go all the way up to 30. Hear that major gurgle? And right now, the liquid that's in this one is Maryland. Maryland Pinup from Pinup Vapors. I think every store should carry Pinup Vapors. So it's really good. Now, if I was to do 30 watts on any of the Nautilus, they all use the same exact coils. Both Nautiluses, the mini and the regular size, they use the same exact coils at 1.8 ohms, as that's what the store always has. I've seen them 1.6, and you will burn them out. You'll get nasty, nasty burn taste, and it'll make you not want to vape ever again in your entire life. One of the things I've found is that when I want to use a new juice flavor, I don't want to put it on top of a coil that has the cottonus soaked up with the old juice flavor. So sometimes the coils aren't bad yet. They still have, a week or two left in them, and you want to change your flavor. So what I've been doing is I take the coil out and I put it in a bag and I label it. So now when I want to go back to Sucker Punch, then I will use that coil again. So just something I'm doing, see how it works, and I will let you know. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a couple of the flavors that I bought recently. We have from Suicide Bunnies, we have Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is far more than an ordinary fruit vape. It contains a cream base with notes of fruit peeking from behind every nook and cranny. She will certainly deliver a punch to the palate. So it's pretty good. This is another strong one though, and when I put it in the sub-ohm tanks, it's almost too much for me. Almost too much flavor. The next flavor that I really liked this other Suicide Bunny Sucker Punch, so I decided to get the OB, it's called. The original bunny, or the OB for short, is a mouth-watering complex blend of rich, clean cream flavors. Some say it tastes like sweet cream. Others say it tastes like a hint of cake. Who doesn't like cake? But Marilyn's recipe remains a delicious secret. I said this kind of looked like Madonna. I suppose this is supposed to be Suicide Bunny version of Marilyn Monroe. That does kind of look like her right there. Last but not least, you've heard me talk many times about my favorite go-to, and that is Betty. I'm telling you, Betty is like all-day vape, and then in between other little flavors, but I always go back to Betty. The other day I was in my local shop. Remember, try to buy stuff from locals, because if we don't and we buy everything online, then the local shops will go out of business, and then how are you going to taste them? And that's all the fun of it. So we like to support the local. Anyways, he was out of Betty because everyone buys Betty. So I purchased the 120 milliliter jar. Look at that. This is Betty. And 120 milliliters of wonderful goodness. Okay, so that's all we have today for Vape Sunday. Hope everyone has a great week. Have a wonderful time vaping.